So today is October 13th, and I was supposed to be in, I was supposed to be south today. Well, I take that back. Not supposed to be. The plan was for me to be south today. I would have left at midnight last night. Been at my destination by 9, 8, visited with my folks and everything else because I had some business to attend to. Now, last week, I began preparing for this trip preparing my vehicle by getting it serviced. Tires, rotate, all that stuff up under the hood. All that stuff looked at, a couple things tweaked and turned and taken care of, those type of things like that. On Thursday, my grandson, he asked me, he said, Granny, you still going on your trip? And I said, yeah. He said, I don't want you to go. I said, well, I'll be right back. It's just a turnaround trip this time. Granny going down one day, taking care of the business, come back next. And he said, no, Granny, you're not coming right back. I said, yes, I am. I said, Granny, I always come right back. He said, no, you're not coming back this time. And I paused for a second. I said, stop saying that. I said, we don't talk like that. I said, Granny's coming back. I said, I will only stay longer if I had to. If something comes up, then yes, Granny will stay longer. But no, Granny's doing a turnaround trip this time. And he said, Granny, you're not coming right back. And he walked off. So with that tweaked my spiritual senses a little bit, because that's not the first time the Lord has spoke through my grandson. So I said, okay, all right, I don't know what he's talking about, but I'm going to keep on doing what I need to do to leave out of here midnight Sunday. I'm gone. So all day Sunday, spirit is toiling. I'm being agitated and aggravated by the smallest of things. Because Saturday afternoon, after I came from my grandson's game, I finished up the little small stuff I need to do, filled my car up, came home. I'm parked by I think it was probably like 5:30. I'm done for the day. I ain't going nowhere to the stroke of midnight Sunday, well really Monday, 12:01 a.m. I ain't moving. All day Sunday, the spirit is agitated by something. Smallest stuff is aggravating me. Just the smallest of little things. All day Sunday, just agitated, irritated. So my son, he took my car. He was going somewhere right quick, and he took my car. And I heard the car when he pulled out. It didn't sound right. So I said, And so when he came back, I heard it again. So I hurried up, ran outside. I said, don't shut it off. I said, pop the hood. Pop the hood. I said, step on the gas a little bit. She just didn't sound right. And I told him, I said, shift the gears. She didn't sound right again. I said, something not right. And, we sat there and played around with some stuff for a minute. I said, something's not right. Car didn't sound like that before. I said, this is what grandson was talking about, that I wasn't coming right back. I said, something is wrong with the car. So I didn't leave. It just wasn't selling with me, and that was it for me. When I heard the car and the Holy Spirit brought to recollection what my grandson said, I said, something is wrong with the car. I'm not leaving tonight. So I got up first thing this morning, take the car back over to the dealership because that's the last place where she was. And on the way there, the engine light came on. I have had that car for 4 years, and not one time has that engine light ever been on. She's never missed a service, oil change, none of that stuff. Up to date on everything. That engine light has never come on. Came on the way there. Got there. The guy remembered me. He wondered where I was back, so quick within a few days. And I told him, I said, car don't sound right. Something, blah, blah, blah. This is going on. And now the engine light is on. So they go in and they run and do some tests. And came back out. Nice little list of stuff. Two came back out with it. he called my name before he even get in the door. Good, Mrs. Thompson. I was like, yes. He comes over and this what he do. He sit down with it and he flipped it open. I knew it was the issue. I said, dude, don't flip the paper over on the sister. We going down the list. And I could have got upset of why this wasn't caught when I brought the car in just a few days prior. I didn't get upset because I said, okay, last week you had a delay of something, a change of plan or something. And yesterday your spirit was agitated and you heard something in the car, another delay. This is divine delay for something. Calm down. But of course, immediately my thought was going towards money. Now me, I'm the type of person, I don't do engine or transmission issues. When those things start happening with the car, I buy a new one. I just don't deal with it. It's just my experience as a truck driver, and having to have transportation all the time on the ready. My having to get to work. Just life. Didn't want to be dependent on nobody taking me back and forth. I'm an independent person, so that's been my experiences. When those sensors start going off, I start having any trouble, especially if I got to take it back to the dealership for that same issue more than once. Nope, that's it. Me and that car, we got to part ways. It ain't that serious for me. And that's what was going off in my mind. At first, I looked at how much this repair costs. And I said, yeah, most definitely getting a second opinion from Jeff, Bulldogs Auto. That's outstanding mechanic. He's certified. So if you have a vehicle that's under warranty through dealership and you can't get into your dealership, Jeff, he's a certified mechanic where he can work on your warranty won't be voided if he works on it. I can't think of the proper name, what it is. But he can do it. And he's been my mechanic for like over 12 years. So I said, yeah, most definitely we're going to get a second opinion from him. But then too, I said, well, this is an engine issue. This is an engine issue. You can't get it fixed one time. Something progresses from here, then yeah, we can consider a new car. But then I thought about it. I said, do you want to do this now? And I said, you know what? We're not finna get our aggravated. I'm not finna aggravate myself. What we're gonna do is we're gonna write on our prayer wall over here, car repair or new vehicle. Gonna leave it right there. Not finna aggravate or frustrate myself. Not finna aggravate or frustrate myself over money. Not finna aggravate or frustrate myself over car. I said all that to say this. When children speak, listen. They're not just talking. They're not just babbling. God can speak through anyone or anything, any type of way. And he gave me that warning through my grandson last Thursday. He said, Granny, you're not coming right back. If I had left out of here midnight this morning, somewhere in there I'd have been broke down on the road. That would have aggravated me beyond all aggravation. Yeah, I got insurance. Yeah, I got towing. Yeah, they'll put me up in a hotel and all this other stuff. But it's the process of going through. And then having my car serviced by a mechanic I don't know, or trying to get to the nearest Chevy dealership. Just don't know. So I heeded, thankful enough to the Lord. He had to tell me a couple of times. He had to give me, a few signs for me to get there. To be like, hey, you're not going. Don't go. I eventually got there. So listen to your kids when they're talking. And my grandson, he's been doing this since I can remember. Since this dude was talking, the Lord was using him, speaking through him to, give me a sign or something. And my grandson's 8 now. So that thing is progressing. And when my grandson said that, Granny, you're not coming right back. He was very confident. And when he said it wasn't a doubt, But my grandson is defiant towards me. He doesn't talk back and do those type of things. But when he said that, I said, stop saying that. Granny is coming right back. He said, Granny, you're not coming right back. And no, I wouldn't have came right back if I'd have done that. I wouldn't even made it down for the business that I was supposed to do in time. I wouldn't have even made it to check in at my hotel on time. It'd have been a mess. I'd have been checked in at another hotel somewhere. So when you get those signs, when God give you those signs, those little innuendos, however they come. Well, not innuendos, but when God gives you those little signs, when he give you those little urging, those little nudges, those little things that come across your mind real quick and you kind of look it over. Nope, go back and get it. Like, hold on, wait, what'd you say? Hold on, wait, what was that? Go back. Go back. That was something for you. Please don't miss it. But as for me, and I'm finna pin these invoices up there too. And go on the wall. Car repair, new vehicle. I ain't worried with it. It ain't gonna get on my nerves. And I'm going to bed early too. Y'all have a good one.